What's up, everybody? Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you've never been here before, my name is Joanna Smith. I am the founder, I'm the CEO, I'm the inventor, the creative mind behind Planted Not Buried Coaching, Planted Not Buried LLC, and the podcast creator and host. I'm also the speaker. I'm the one stop shop. You know how when you create an entrepreneurial business and you realize like you're everything in that business? Well, that's me, that's your girl. And if you have made it to my channel and you are someone that is gently seeking the betterment of your soul, that you want enlightenment, you don't just want women empowerment, but you want true redemption and healing through Christ Jesus. Do I have every answer? Absolutely not. But do I have the best advice that I can give you in this generation and day and age? Whether it's healthcare, spirituality, religion, content creation, I'm your girl and I got you covered. We have covered about 8 to 9 episodes previously, and I will have them linked up somewhere in this video, typically at the top of a playlist of where you can catch our latest videos. Don't leave that man until. And I was contemplating on whether or not I wanted to take the video down or keep it going, but I'm going to be faithful. And I know that that video was meant for someone in particular. It's a lot of great content, a lot of information. And without further ado, let's just keep it rolling. What is everyday people? This is a podcast, so much more than that. It's a nation where people come to be healed, to be restored, to be enlightened, to be empowered, to be. Let there be light. Light in every aspect of your life, in every purpose, in every assignment. You are everyday people healed. So, what has life consisted of for Joanna as of lately? It has been relationship breakups, it's been job firing, it's been a lot of things. But all in all, what I hear God through is that it's alignment, realignment. You know, when you venture out into things that God doesn't necessarily have for you, you think that this is it, it's meant to be. This feels good right now, so that means that God is behind it. And we get so comfortable with not going back and checking in with God every single step, we miss something. And I've done that. I've done that so many times before that now we need realignment. You know, you need realignment when everything in your life is going haywire, it's going bonkers, it's going crazy, it's going bananas. That's how you know, okay, I need realignment. Now, just because you need realignment doesn't necessarily mean that you need a fast or that you need to declare to everyone that you need to go on a fast. Naturally, spiritually, if you are spiritually led, what I believe and what God has shown through me countless of times, he has always led me through discipline. And as because he's given us power, love, and a sound mind. That sound mind is discipline. He had always given me the ability to hear that discipline, to hold on to that discipline. Not only that, I'm going to give you a little tip to know how God's presence is truly with you. And I mean truly with you, not just hovering over you, but in you, around you, because angels encamp around those who fear the Lord. And there are people out there that are Christian but don't fear the Lord. Fearing the Lord is something that you can aspire to have. You should have it. But to know that there are angels around you that's keeping you in all of your ways is your ability to let things go and to let it down and not pick it back up. And I've been in seasons where I've tried to physically put something down myself before having the revelation of what it is that's destroying my body, my soul, really. What part of what is leading me? Is it my flesh? Is it me, Lord? What is it that's causing me this destruction? And what I have learned from that is 9 times out of 10, it is your own desires. And scripture tells us that as well. You can't be tempted beyond your own desires. It comes from within you. It literally stems from you. It's coming from you. Whether it's some people have a strong desire to be on top all the time, and it's going to lead to pride. Anything that you try to obtain outside of Jesus is rooted in pride. Hear me when I say this. And that even goes from wanting a spouse so bad, wanting to be in a relationship so bad that you would be willing to do anything for it, and you'd be willing to completely miss the red flags. And that is what this episode is about. Catching those red flags, whether you're a man or you're a woman. Red flags. Red flags are not Six Flags. It's a stop. Don't go no further. This is not good. And I don't want you to buy into the manipulation tactics of, as much as you look for red flags, look for green. No. Mm-mm. When you see the red flags, you need to address what the issue is. If it's something that you feel like you can deal with, then that's maybe not a red flag. Now, here's what I mean by deal with. You don't deal with alcoholism. That's not something that you want to deal with. That is something that someone else has to put down in order for them to hold you up. Drugs are the same way. Addiction to shopping is the same way, or whatever addiction that they have. When someone is battling with addiction, that is not someone that you should be partnered with or want to be partnered with, especially when you are single and you don't have a tie to this person. When you're already in a relationship, and think, and I mean married, at the point where you're married and then a habit develops and picks up, it's not like you can just divorce the person because a habit is picking up. This is strictly for single people. Single, you're not married yet, you're seeing the red flags, run, get out of there. God is not telling you to stick with this person because they're a really great person and one day that they're going to change. A lot of times we get into trouble because we want them to change for us. As much as you say, no, I don't want them to change. But then you start noticing that their patterns and their behaviors are disturbing you. That is a clear indication that you need to cut it and run. What happens is when you don't listen to those red flags, you are disheartening your soul, because your soul, your spirit, if you will, is what's telling you within yourself, that gut feeling, that inclination that you get, the discernment that you get is saying, this is not it. We start trying to question it, and we start trying to barter with, well, maybe it doesn't happen all the time, but you know within your heart that this person is a no. The more comfortable you get with saying, no, this is not for me, the better, the quicker, and the faster you get attuned to picking up on spiritual things, because God operates in the spiritual, in the supernatural, and he created you in his image and his likeness to operate the same way. But what happens when we want our own desires so much so we get blinded to that, and then next thing you know, you are no longer walking in the spirit, but you're walking in the flesh, because the flesh is wicked and the heart is deceitful. Our hearts are made of flesh. So what do we do? What do we do with red flags? You need to be in tuned. You need to know, what exactly are you getting yourself into? Does this person have a job? Yes, it matters. You don't need to be dating someone that doesn't have a job right now. You can be friends with this person, but to be actively trying to pursue a relationship with someone who doesn't have a job right now, no. Their focus and their priorities needs to be on them getting a job, or walking in their purpose and their calling that God has them. If they're leaving their worldly job, if you will, their occupation for this world, and they're going into full-time ministry, that's different. The church may be employing them, or they may be without a paycheck, but are they actively, you know what I'm saying? Are they within a job? How long have they been in a job? What you're trying to establish is a work history. You don't want someone that hops around from job to job, especially if they're in the same state. If you're in the military, or you're in like a travel nursing, or something along those lines where it's your job is literally to travel, okay, cool. But I mean the constant relocation of jobs because, oh, this wasn't a right fit for me. This wasn't a right fit for me. This wasn't a right fit for me. Sometimes there are instances where God is trying to teach that person, it's something in you that needs to change. Not every one of your employers are wrong. There's something within your character. There's a character flaw that God is trying to work out, but he's faithful. You will get in that person's way, and you'll get in God's way of how he's trying to deal with them, because now you're going to be their rescuer. They're going back and forth in between jobs. You think it's your right, it's your duty to save them. And I want to be a good friend, and I want to stick to them, and I know that they're a good person at heart. No, get out of the way, let God deal with that person, and then pick up if you want to. But 9 times out of 10, when someone has already passed by you, mm-mm. It needs to be a right time, right place, right moment type of thing. In nursing, we have 5 rights when we give medicine: right patient, right dose, right frequency, right route, for right purpose, right reasons, those, all of those things. And there's even so much more. Is it the right time? Is the biggest one. I remember a while ago on my TikTok, we had a discussion as how do you know if this is the right person for you? And it was exactly that. Imagine yourself, God told you, and he told this person, he's the Uber driver or you're the Uber driver, whatever, and you're the person waiting to get picked up. Let's say you're going out for evening, you don't want to take your car. And you have someone dedicated to coming and getting you. You know that person's name, you know the time they're going to be there, you know the car, you even know the license plate, you know the ratings that they have, you know how much detail you have just from that. That's how spiritually attuned you should be, and that you can be when the person is coming. You can ask for those details. Father, what's the name? If you really want to get in depth of it. Father, what's the name? What are we doing? What we got going on? But we kind of, oh, we think that we have that dating aspect of like, Lord, I got it. I don't need your help. Woo! But you really do. You really do. What's his relationship like? What's their relationship like with their parents? Are they estranged with their parents? Did their parents walk out of their life at an early age? This is not to say to negate those type of people, but to understand what you're going to be dealing with. When you deal with people who didn't have a steady home, there is psychological trauma that this person has been with that they now have to, if they haven't gone to therapy, there needs to be some type of therapy because this behavior is not normal and it is not right. It's not the right environment for the mind. I know as Black women and we're strong and we have this, we can do it all spirit and we go and we save everybody. We have this savior complex and we just feel the need to save, 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 save. And single mothers make the best athletes. You guys, this is not a badge of honor. God did not aspire. He didn't create you to be a single mother or for you to thrive in single motherhood or single fatherhood. You were meant to be with a partner and to share those responsibilities. So for someone who doesn't own up to those responsibilities, someone who doesn't even care, that's a red flag. And you guys, these aren't even just things that I'm noticing about other people. These are things that I have personally gone through. Not knowing, if the person doesn't know what school they go to, the name of their teacher, if they don't have the school calendar on their phone or somewhere in their house. Have you been to their house in the first 30 days or 90 days? What did you see? Was their house messy? Was their bathroom messy? Did it constantly smell like cleaning supplies? Did you see other people's things there? Was it disheveled? What did it feel like when you got there? What did you discern when you stepped into that house? Is this a praying person? You would know if you're with a praying person or a spiritual person based on how they perceive themselves, how they act, what they believe in. Any person that is filled with the Holy Spirit, I promise you, they can't stop shutting up about. Excuse me. They can't stop, shut up, talk. They cannot be quiet about talking about Jesus. He's their everything. Don't settle for someone who does not have. What does it mean to be unequally yoked? The way that you love Jesus. Don't be with someone who loves Jesus less than you. Aspire to be with someone who loves you more. Women, you cannot bring a man to your level. A man always can bring you to his level. Always. We weren't here before them. They were here before us. This is just spiritual principles. A woman cannot bring a man to her level. Can't do it. And even when she tries, she can lift him a little bit, elevate him a little bit, but he's not going to be able to sustain it because it didn't come from him. It was given to him. And things that are typically given to someone and they didn't work for it, they didn't earn it on their own, they didn't obtain it on their own, they typically lose it because they don't have a value for it. But a man whose woman is truly God given, when I tell you they value this woman like no other, not to say that they're perfect, but the value and how they have a healthy reverence for the God given woman. Do you know what I mean? It's just things that we have missed and we overcomplicate things. Confusion. I don't know if I should be with this person or not. I'm getting dreams. I'm getting mixed signals and he's having dreams and here's having dreams. Do not have sex with this person until try to hold out. Because I'm be honest, we literally live in this world. There are some of us who have been married before. And so our body knows sexual things. Our body is attuned to sexual things. There's hormones. As a woman, we have peaks. Our hormones go all over the place, especially when we're menstruating. We have moments where we are hot in the draws, and we have mornings where it's like, get away from me. I don't want to be next to you. But do not, even for males, because you also can be hot and horny in the draws. Do not have sex with the person that you're trying to get to know. You are going to be blinding. Sex is blinding. It opens up a world of communication that is going to make you bypass those red flags. You don't need me to go into detail with you with this, because how many relationships have you been in where you've had sex with this person and it turned into a situationship? Somebody caught feelings, both of y'all caught feelings, and now neither one of y'all are in the relationship. Many of us that have gotten into these relationships, and I want to call them world relationships, um, situationships where we thought, oh, this person is the one and they love me and all of these things, and they left us downhearted, brokenhearted, found out that they've been married, that they have a whole other life, a family, because they were infatuated with you. There's a such thing between chemistry and a soulmate. Should you guys have a chemistry and a strong connection? Absolutely. But I would be timid and a little bit cautious when there is a strong chemistry without a spiritual connection and a divine revelation of why is this person in my life. A lot of us have married our assignment, and a lot of us have slept with our assignment, meaning you were supposed to understand what this creature was coming to you, understand the spirit behind the creature, the man or the woman that is coming to you, presenting to you, and know the difference of whether or not are they operating with the spirit of lust? Are they operating with the lying spirit? Are they a monkey? Do they just play around? Like, what is it? What's going on? Do they generate just do they exude pride, a strong sense of pride, not just in their work, but within themselves? Are they too about themselves? Are they someone who, oh, I got to look like this before I go out the house? I got to do this. It's one thing to be presentable, and I do think that you should leave your house presentable, but to be overly taken by your presentation every single day, but you have no recollection of your spiritualness. You have no recollection of why you should be more spiritually attuned, why you should pay more attention to your spirit than your physical body. You are backwards. That is not a spirit-led man. That is a flesh-led man or woman, because women can do the same thing. They can go outside, they can look very pretty and presentable, and their representative shows up, and then you are 3 months into this relationship and they're begging to have sex with you, and you give in because, oh, they didn't ask to have sex with me in the first 3 months, so I'm just going to have sex with him now. No! Stay there. Stay there. Sex will go away. There, you won't even have that desire all the days of your life. You won't. The work that God has given to you guys as an individual and as a couple is, mm, it's too important. Someone that writes things down. Are they an avid book reader? Yes, it matters if you're an avid book reader. If you, are they listening to books? You would still be considered a book reader even if you have audiobooks. Okay, we still give that to you. If they're not an avid book reader, why do you think that he would read his Bible? If they're not, and this is just, we're just gonna call it what it is. If this person is not a book reader, why do you think that they just magically read their Bible when they're saying, I don't read books? That means they don't read the Bible either. Red flag. Not only that, those who are spirit led, they will tend to read books that have to do with spirituality and self-development, because they understand there's work to be done. Your mind needs to be renewed. There's information that you need to know how to function in this world. Are they someone that are constantly on their phone? I'm not just talking about content creation, because those people are still in purpose. There's a God-given reason on why they're pushing content and why they're on their phones. But I mean, are they constantly on their phones just scrolling, just consuming? There has to be a difference between a consumer and a light-given source. Consumers will feed on you. They're like parasites. They are vampires. Vampires are real, you guys. They really are real. These are spiritual beings that will suck the life out of you dry. And then once you could not stand it, when you can't have enough, on to the next. But it seems like, dang, like They just get in one relationship and then there's another relationship, then there's another relationship, and everyone seems like they're ending in the same, just dry bones. Red flags. What's their credit score? If they don't know their credit score, that's a red flag. We are too grown, and I'm in my 30s. When you're in your early 20s, okay, cool, it might be excusable, but you probably shouldn't even be dating in your early 20s either, or late teens. You should be focusing on your education, the plans, the provision that God has given to you. What's the work that God has to you? Because it's going to start typically in your early 20s. You're busy doing things. Don't date on the job. There's a saying that you don't where you eat, or you don't eat where you, vice versa. Do not the mistakes. You have to look for the patterns. When you are taking a test, your teacher is not only looking for the right answers, they're looking for the wrong answers. What did you get wrong and why did you get that wrong? Let me see how you came up with that answer. That's how you are picking out people of whether or not they're even a contender. Don't give everybody access to you. You don't have to date everyone. People that just say, "Oh, you look good, sis. You look," them little gas station. You know them gas station compliments when people like, "Well, I ain't got no attention in a while. I'm gonna go to the hood gas station." Don't be an attention seeker. Do you understand what you're attracting to you? It's not good. It's not good. There's something that's inside of you that you need to fix. There's a trauma response that makes you feel as though you just need constant attention and stimulation from something. Honest. When you are single, you can be picky, you can be choosy, you can be selective as much as you want to, because you are going to be with this person until death do you part. Does this person take care of themselves? If this person is not taking care of themselves right now, you are going to be taking care of them then. You will, because you have to stay active in order to keep up with this physical body. Like, you guys, we have a physical body for a reason. It's for us to physically do the work of God on this realm, on this side of the world. So if the person is not taking care of their health, you're going to be taking care of them later on. Can you do that? Do you want to do that? And I'm not to say that things can't happen later on, because there's accidents that can happen. Absolutely. But we're talking about the things that are preventable. Are they taking care of that? How many times out of the year do they go to church? Missing one Sunday every month because you have a work obligation, that may be something, but only going to one church Sunday, or one Wednesday a month, or whenever they go, just two times a month. There is 365 days in a year, and you mean to tell me you couldn't even? Only 4 Sundays a month, sometimes 5. That's a question. Question that. That's a red flag. What when he talks about if he has children, how many children? If homeboy got 5 baby mamas, 5 children, that's a red flag. If that's something that you want to deal with, okay, cool. But for most women, that's not something that we want to deal with. And then what's the character traits of these women that they've been with? They know. More than likely they'll tell you, "Oh, she was this and she was that." Pay attention to that as well. Does he have high regards to say about these women? And if he does, then maybe he's the problem. Everyone has a problem and a fault when they break up in a relationship, because it's always two-sided. Well, technically 3 sides. Her side story, his side of story, and the actual truth. Educational. What's the highest level of education that they've completed? If you have a master's degree and he only passed high school, 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to get into something on some level, unless he pushed himself, because he can have a business. They can be a businessman and just went to high school. It happens. But a lot of times, especially in America, it's going to bump heads. There's because women that go all the way up there to a doctorate degree, and you just have an associate's degree. Is that going to be a problem for you, man of God? Are you going to feel emasculated when she uses a terminology or a phrase or a word, or begins to speak something on an educational level that you have no ability to understand right now? Are you able to learn from her? Are you able to humble yourself to learn from her? Red flags are not 6 flags. And we have to stop painting the roses red. It is what it is. What you see is what you get. People cannot hold on to a self-proclaimed image for so long. It's not going to work. Pay attention to the body language. Pay attention to the way that they speak, the way that their mind generates. Is this someone who has trust issues? Do you want to deal with it? Do they constantly badmouth the current president? It doesn't matter what president this is or whatever time you're watching right now. Do they constantly badmouth the president? That's someone who doesn't respect authority. If you want a high figure man, you also have to be a high figure woman, a high valued woman. A Proverbs 31 woman is a woman of discernment and wisdom, and those are not the same. By the way, they're not. Go to Proverbs, they are not the same. You should be a woman of wisdom to know what to do with the material that God has given her. That includes your home, that includes your finances, your career, your education, your wants, your desires, your worship, all of that. Red flags are not Six Flags. There are so many things that I could say that's like, it's a red flag. But listen to yourself, because you know when it's a no. Everything in your body screams no. Your mouth is the only thing that is saying yes. Your flesh may be saying yes, because there is something in you that may not be healed. There is a desire that you have that did not stem from God, doesn't come from God. Don't look. Surrender your wants, your desires, and your will to God, and I promise you, He will make it straight. And we're not going to call it a counterfeit. When your assignment, just your assignment, comes, and it's going to be whether you pass the test, have you upgraded, have you elevated your standards and what I've called you to be. When you are able to pass that test, it gets easier and easier and easier to discern what's real and what's fake. But first, you have to operate with wisdom. These are just some of the red flags. Until next time.
We're driving cars on a Mars tonight.